Radhe Radhe, good morning, good evening, everyone. Hope all of you are doing good. If you're new to the session, this is the opportunity to have some informal conversation. You can, if you, Radhe Radhe Sham, Radhe Radhe Sandhya, how are you doing?
Good.
Good, good. My office finished just a few minutes back today, so pretty crazy day today.
Oh, it got late today.
Yeah, one of those days, right, when the work never stops. Right, so I picked up a topic today, which the question kept coming last week. How do we make sense of the tragedies that we see around us? So let's see, and I think there's going to be. So by the way, Amrutavaniji, today you may have to make Nitin. I cannot call him G because that's my the co-host. I think he has some presentation towards the end as well. So
Oh, okay. Nice. Sure. I'll make them go.
yeah.
We can't see her nowadays. But she is off screen nowadays for last some time. I guess she's trying to make us.
Audio breaks in between, Shamji.
Yeah, I keep my screen video off nowadays. Yeah.
Why is it so, Amrutavaniji?
Actually, because my name will be under the host, so I'm getting some comments in the chat section, chat window. So I keep disturbing the co-host who's really doing that session. So I generally, that's why I don't put my name and I avoid it, so that I don't want to keep on interrupting the person. So
They still treat you as a co-host, huh? Okay. You have been stereotyped, like the stereotype in Bollywood, right? You have been stereotyped.
So I don't want to do it like, disturb the actual person who's doing. So I don't generally.
So Shyamji, you were talking about having fun, right? Here in Dallas. So I must tell you, we have become like in India, they call it ladki wale, right? So we are no longer baratis. We just do the work here. But it's blissful, trust me. So it's not like we are going and enjoying. We used to in the past, but now we have come to the other side. So it's all work, and in work we seek fun, and there is fun in work as well. So in Seva, that's how we go. So
When you say anger comes, our mind goes for a toss. We can't remember all those things. So what is the key to remember those things? Ki kuch karo. That's so obvious, no?
हम वही बात कर रहे थे ना कि हम एक्सेप्शनल सिचुएशंस में वही कर सकते हैं जो हमने नॉर्मल सिचुएशंस में प्रैक्टिस किया हो. तो ऑल ऑफ अ सडन नहीं होगा, वो प्रैक्टिस चाहिए उसके लिए. माइंडफुलनेस की प्रैक्टिस डे टू डे लाइफ में धीरे धीरे उसका टेम्परेचर बढ़ेगा. पहले नहीं हो पाता, लेकिन धीरे धीरे वो प्रैक्टिस होनी शुरू हो जाएगी. तो करनी पड़ेगी वो प्रैक्टिस. जादू नहीं होगा कोई. स्पिरिचुअलिटी इज नथिंग अबाउट मिराकल्स और एक गोली खाई और सुबह उठ के एवरीथिंग इज फिक्स्ड. ऐसा नहीं होगा कभी. द बक स्टॉप्स एट अस बेसिकली टू वर्क. लेकिन हमारे एफर्ट से भी एक लिमिट तक ही जा पाते हैं. उसको बोलते हैं साधन भक्ति. एटलीस्ट इंटेंट दिखा रहे हैं, एफर्ट डाल रहे हैं. एक्चुअल थिंग्स, मैजिक स्टार्ट्स हैपनिंग विद गॉड्स ग्रेस. आप इतना एफर्ट डालेंगे, वो इतनी सपोर्ट करेंगे. तो जैसे वेट लिफ्टिंग करते हैं ना बच्चे, तो उनको लगता है वो खुद कर रहे हैं, बट फादर इज गिविंग देम अ पुश. सेम प्रिंसिपल अप्लाइज इन भक्ति आल्सो.
वो कब होगी वैसे?
क्या होगा?
वो कब होगी? गॉड ग्रेस.
जब हम एफर्ट डालना शुरू कर देंगे. The buck stops us basically. Grace is directly proportional to the amount of effort we are trying to put in. So everything is related. Okay, I know it's 9 o'clock, so let's get started with our opening prayers, and then we will get into the topic of our discussion today. Let participants join as well. So let me pull up my opening prayers and we will get started. So Radhe Radhe, good morning, good evening, everybody. Hope you had a wonderful day and a great start to your day. Let's get into a very interesting topic today. I'm sure a lot of you can relate to it. So let's get started. Share my sound as well. Are you able to see the screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay, great. So we'll get started with our opening page. Today I've picked up, for a change, I've picked up a Srimad Bhagavatam verse, and that is related to what we are going to discuss today. You'll be able to see what it is about. So let me share my screen. Let's get started with our opening page. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Gurue Namaha. Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagatguru. Krishnam Vande Jagatguru. Radhe Radhe. Good morning, good evening again, everyone. So like I said, last week we were discussing that. So typically we utilize our Tuesdays to pick up some topic which helps us recap some of the key concepts, because a lot of you might be new joinees thinking that have they already missed the train. So the good news is no, you haven't, because the key concepts we will keep on revisiting, revising for the benefit of everybody, and more importantly for myself as well, right? Those concepts, they are really important to keep on refreshing, revising in your head so that our foundation is strong, and then we keep progressing. So today we will pick up a topic that I'm sure a lot of you can resonate with. That question came up as well. How do we make sense of tragedies that we see around us? This world, you can see so many things happen around us which do not make sense at all. And sometimes it actually takes us to the tipping point, and in some cases even compels us to even lose faith in God, that is there any God at all? Like a Jewish rabbi, his son got that disease of premature aging, and then he was thinking, why would it happen to his son? And he said, either there is no God. Then he ruled that possibility out. He said, no, all my life I've been talking about God, so God is there. But then the other possibility of it is that there is God, but then God is powerless. Maybe the Satan is more powerful than God. So there is a battle in which God may lose at times. Okay, so he said God is there, but then I think is powerless. Okay. So we'll see. Actually, that is not the case. It's a very, very deep concept that we are going to touch upon today. And with faith and with your sincerity at heart, it'll click. It took me a while to understand and make sense out of it, but eventually it does. Might be difficult to begin with, but it should eventually, because we will be taking scriptural references like we always do. Okay, it's not like, okay, because we feel we are talking it. There's going to be scriptural reference around it. And today I have picked up Bhagavatam, chapter 13, text 31. So let's look at it, and then we'll get into the deeper discussion for the topic today. So this verse says, I'll not ask you to recite it, I'll just do the quick rounds. Adhyatmika Adhyatmikadi avimuktasya karhichit martasya krichopanar terthe kame kriyet kim. What basically it says is, the materialistic activities, they are always mixed with three kinds of conditions: adhyatmic, adhidevik, and adibhautik. We have discussed this topic in the past. I'm sure you would have forgotten it, or maybe you remember it a little bit, but we're going to go revise it and refresh it so that it sticks now. So these are the three kinds of miserable conditions that in material world we will be subjected to. Okay, Bhagavatam is talking about it. So what are these? They're called adhyatmic, adhidevik, and adibhautik. And even if it achieves some success in this world, right, there are a lot of people whom we think they are successful. First of all, the definition of success itself is subjective, but through our own understanding of success, we attribute those personalities or the way they lead their life or what is happening in their life as success. So let's say it is success in some way, right? Swamiji has given the most perfect definition of success till date that I've heard. If you go to Google, you'll see so many definitions of success, and everybody has their own definition of success. But actually, the true definition of success is becoming the best version of yourself, actually realizing your true potential. That is the true success. When you feel good, do good, and become good, do good, and then you feel good and become the best version of yourself. And what is the best version of ourselves? Becoming like God. That is our best version, actually. That is what we are capable of. Our soul has unlimited, infinite potential. It's only limited by our body, mind, intellect complex, because we think we cannot do. Like Neo of Matrix, he was capped by his own thinking. And the day he broke those shackles, he could do impossible things as well. So anyways, we're talking about materialistic activity. So if somebody is successful from material yardsticks, what is the value of that success? Right? Whether you are Ambani or Bill Gates or Steve Jobs or Mr. Elon Musk, are you immune to any of these? No, you are not. Birth, death, old age, disease, they are reactions of repetitive activities which we have to do for as long as we are in a conditioned state in this material world. Right? All these big shots are now trying to see how they can preserve their brain and continue to live and beat death, play God. Not going to happen. For all the research, for all the scientific advancements that we have made, we have not even developed a technology to keep our hair black. We cannot do that. We cannot play God, even in smallest of things. If you decompose your blood, it is probably worth $200 of chemicals. Can you create blood? Answer is no. So there are things God has kept in his hand, and for a good reason. So anyways, now let's get into these three things that we have spoken about. So our scriptures tell us, we have taken the reference of Bhagavatam today, that in this world, we have to deal with tritaps. Tapatreya is also it's called. Tapatreya, they are tritaps. What are these tritaps? The first one is Dehik tap. It is called Adhyatmik. We'll get into details for that as well. The second one is called Devik tap. Tap, as we know, right? The tap is temperature. So again, there are three taps. The first one is Dehik tap. It is called Adhyatmik. Second one is Devik tap. And the third one is called Bhautik tap. Now let's look at these taps in more detail. Okay, I'll not get into that for now. Right. So the first one is Adhyatmik. This tap is which is caused by bodily suffering and mental anguish. We all know what it means. Now, these sufferings are like mental diseases, anger, passion, greed, ego, misapprehension, and the physical diseases as well, cough, fever, cancer, and they are caused by imbalance of tridosh. Tridosh, as we know, are those tridosh there, like I think yesterday briefly Devi was talking about the kapha, vata, and pitta aspect of it as well, right? So they are caused by that. And then this mental agony, they caused by worries, anxieties, attachment, aversion that we are talking about, right? Lord Krishna is beautifully explaining what the things which are called manas rog we need to stay away with. They all fall into this category. And nobody is immune to it. You may think somebody is really cool and they have everybody subjected to these laws of material nature, the adhyatmic ones. And even the hereditary diseases like leprosy, disabilities, blindness, people are born with that, lameness, and they can be karmaj and doshaj also. We will never come to know karmaj or doshaj. Okay, this is a concept, I think we've spoken about it. Karmaj is something that you have called upon yourself because of your current lifestyle, your kriyaman karma that you have control over. Sedentary lifestyle can lead to diabetes. Then obesity, overweight, all those kind of problems, they are called karmaj. Doshaj are the ones that you are born with, the ones that Brahmaji has packed your genetic code the day you are born because of some past things. But we will never come to know. So we should not absolve ourselves from living responsibly, thinking it might be karmaj. We will never come to know. So it's imperative on us to continue living responsibly, regardless of what happens, right? And now people who smoke, they give an argument, even people without smoking can have lung cancer. So what's a big deal? No, there is a big deal. You're actually violating the laws of nature, and then to the detriment of your own sanskars and the other things, of course, right? So the first one is adhyatmik tap. Nobody's immune from that. The second one is called adhi bhautik. They're caused by the other bhutas. Now these bhutas are not ghosts, okay? Bhutas are living entities, wild animals, snakes, enemies, and other humans, animals, insects as also. When somebody gets angry, basically you are subjecting the other person to adi bhautik. Okay, next time you get angry, remind, I'm causing an adi bhautik tap to another person. And it can happen. Enemies, people become enemies, revenge and all that stuff. Boss at office, trustworthy friend, relationships, um, family member, another driver on the road, Scorpio, all these other entities that can cause us, they are called adi bhautik. Okay, these are the second category of taps. The third category is adi devik. Now, COVID-19, I don't know if it is adi bhautik or adi devik, it's debatable. Okay, if it came from Wuhan lab, then it was probably adi bhautik. If it is actually some mutation of a natural virus, no, something could be adi devik. Well, anyway, so the tornadoes, tsunamis, all that stuff that happens, they are called by deva. So we spoke about that Bhagavad Gita shloka. There's a harmony has to be maintained when we pull our weight in the working or of this universe, and when we do our job properly or do the work that we do properly, then devatas are pleased, and then they bestow rain, and through rain comes grain, and grain is the basis of life. Everything is born out of grain, right? So God has given us the basic ingredients. We mix and match, and we make Chinese cuisine, American cuisine, Italian cuisine. That is fine, but the basic material is grain, which comes from rain, which is provided by devas, and devas are nothing but energized by God. His energies only. They're like just posts. So when they are not pleased because of when we violate the rules of nature or exploit nature, like deforestation or cloud seeding and things like that, then these kind of things can happen. In Himachal, in my hometown only, that Kedarnath movie which is made, now people say there's a massive deforestation that had taken place there, and because of which the soil, the roots, they hold the soil, that cause resulted in landslides, and we know the kind of tragedy that happened after that. That is called adi devik. And more recently, as we see, tsunami had happened and those kind of things. So they are called floods, droughts, changing seasons, flus, floods, tornadoes, tsunamis, viruses, which are not man-made. I put the disclaimer here. And the natural tribulations due to hunger, thirst, old age, they also belong to this group. Now, there's a concept, interesting concept. We'll talk about why, if somebody, tsunami, somebody was taking a walk on a marina beach and tsunami came and swept them away. Can happen. Some people, they travel and plane crashes. We hear everyday stories that the bus fell into the river, right? If you are somebody's in Ukraine, we don't even know when the next bomb will come and hit our house. In Afghanistan, they have limb camps because there are so many minefields laid down by the war that happened between Americans and Russians, that you get out and you don't know which mine will burst, and people don't have legs, so they have leg camps. Just having an ability to walk is a privilege for them. So is it all chaotic? Is it all madness that is happening, or is there some method to this madness, is what we are going to talk about today, right? It just seems like things are out of control from everyone, and it just doesn't make sense what's going on around, right? And which is very disconcerting actually, if you think deeply about it, unless you know, okay, there is something which is dictating it. It's not that something is completely out of control. So let's get into that a little bit more. Talk about collective karma versus individual karma. Now, there was a Titanic, we all know that, right? There was a movie made on that as well. 1,500 people died. It was a big big time disaster. 700 people, individuals survived. What made you? Yes, Lakshmi, you had a question real quick? Or wait until we complete?
Like the second one, which I couldn't get it. Second tab.
Adibhautik, by
Yeah.
other entities. Okay, it could be your family member, it could be an animal, scorpion, could be some relative, friend, could be anybody. But other bhutas, basically. Okay, so Titanic, as you see, 1,500 people had died, 700 individuals survived. Same ship, different destinies. Similarly, on October 30th, there was an airlines. It crashed on Elbow Mountain, Virginia. And pretty much everybody was killed. Crew was killed, 24. And there was one survivor who lay on the ground near the wreckage, still strapped in a seat. He survived. So there is something called a collective karma, individual karma. There are layers of karmas. Like now, the individual karma actually trumps the collective karma. So if people collectively suffer some kind of a destiny, there are a lot of function are in play right now. Collective karma, that karma could apply to a city, that karma could apply to a place, that karma could apply to an entire clan. I've picked up some examples, I'll show you. That can happen too. And but then individual karma can trump that. Trump that means it supersedes that collective karma that I'm talking about. So there are karma of a particular place as well. So that's why I say if the world is going to end, which is not going to happen for quite a few years, knowing the age of Kali Yuga, and if it has to start from a particular place, Sin City, don't be in Vegas. Like maybe it will start from Vegas, and it could be a wrong timing as well. Being at a wrong place at a wrong time. Okay. All those factors are at play, and these are the not symptoms. These are the uh, the things that you have to deal with in this material world. No escape from this, for as long as you're in the material world. Now let's look at some more examples. Clan prarabdh versus individual prarabdh. So I picked up a few more examples around it just so that we can drive home the point and get a little more clarity in it. We were talking about Kashmir files the other day. Let's look at the Holocaust. You can look it up in history books around it. The biggest, the genocide that happened in World War II, 41 to 45, where Nazi Germany, Hitler wanted to wipe Jews off this planet. He said, I cannot tolerate Jews. And there was a systematic murdering of 6 million Jews across German occupied Europe, which wiped off 2/3 of Europe's Jewish population. Even today, they live in Israel. They were, not given any place. And now from all the directions, they are surrounded by hostile countries. And that is the reason Jews have become one of the most intelligent races in this world, because survival, when you don't have money, right, that's when you dig deep into your pockets. So that was the reason for that. But anyways, going back to that, 6 million Jews were subjected to genocide. It was a tragedy of 100, 200 times more than what we have seen more recently, which has come to the fore, which was hidden for all these years. I've not seen this movie. I'd like to watch it. I think it has not come yet. I need to find time for that. But then Kashmiri Pandits, very tragic thing that happened. Even now, the wounds have not healed for that. And about 1,90,000 Pandits, they were actually thrown out of their houses from their own place, and pretty much at the mercy of everybody, right? And they were compelled to leave, and so many atrocities, murder and bad things happened around that time as well. How would you explain that? The entire clan is suffering from that. Entire generation has to bear that. Right? Where is God? Why can't God be merciful at that time? That question would obviously come in our minds. We'll tackle a little bit of that as well. Now let's look at some of the historical examples as well. Now Bhishma, his 7 brothers were drowned by his mother Ganga. So if you have seen Mahabharata, she would silently take a baby. As soon as the baby is born, she was married to Shantanu and put it in, drown that baby. Now, if you look at it from a very subjective eye, I said, what kind of a mother is she? What kind of a life these kids had? They were drowned, and she had taken a vow from Shantanu never to get questioned on what she's going to do, until Shantanu finally broke his vow, and on the eighth child he asked, and that is where Bhishma, his birth, he survived basically. He was not drowned. So they were all 8 Vasus in previous life, as the scriptures explain us, who had actually stolen the cow of sage Vashisht, and they were cursed to a mortal planet. And Ganga, she took pity on them and she said, okay, I'll make that stay the least possible stay for you. So it was a mercy she was doing upon them actually. So we don't know what kind of algorithm is at play in what kind of a situation. So now that is born out of their prarabdha, individual prarabdha, because they were cursed and they were being released from that curse. Now, when something bad happens to somebody, we are not in that person's situation. Right? If a bullet is piercing somebody's heart, we don't know if God is actually giving them strength or doing something about it. We don't know. We simply look at it subjectively and think, oh my God, what happened? So we don't know. If first of all, there's a bigger algorithm in play with so many variables and functions around it. There's a big picture to anything and everything that is happening. And secondly, it could be a pure bad timing as well. Let's quickly look at some more examples as well. Now, if you look at Draupadi, she was humiliated publicly. Was it a good thing, bad thing, right? But then what happened to her was bad, but how she takes it and does with it dictates whether she makes something good out of it or bad out of it, right? Now, if she's going to spend the rest of her life in vengeance and negativity and bitterness, it's probably not good. So that is in her own hand. The third example, the entire clan. This is an interesting example of Yaduvanshis. Now, the Yaduvanshis were none other than Krishna's own sons and grandsons. They were wiped off because all the Kauravas were wiped off because Krishna's help on the Pandava side. So she gave a curse that whatever has happened to my clan, same thing will happen to yours as well. And he gracefully accepted that. It said fine. Now, were they bad people? Possibly. But then the God's algorithm works in such a way that it all fits in if it has to happen. And the entire clan was cursed. They all killed each other, Yaduvanshis. There was no trace of Yaduvanshis after Krishna closed his pastimes. Pandava's sons, they were killed in a cold blood, in the middle of a night by Ashwatthama. 5 of them. Does it make sense at all? How cruel that seems. So they might be dictated by prarabdha around that. Snakes, the Takshak snake who had killed Parikshit, his own son Janmejay, he did a Sarp Yagya, thinking that a snake killed my father. And the snakes, the entire clan of snakes, they could not resist the power of the mantras that in that yagya that was being performed, and they kept getting into fire until the sage came and he stopped. He said, your father died because of his own doing. He had put a snake on that sage's neck, and then it was cursed. He was cursed, and that is why Takshak did that. Now Takshak did that out of vengeance. You are erasing the clan, but billions of snakes were put into fire by Janmejay. Janmejay was a son of Parikshit, by the way, and the grandson of grandson of Abhimanyu and great grandson of Arjun. Now that clan was cursed. The entire clan was burnt down. Dhritarashtra's sons, 100 of them were killed. He asked Krishna, what did I do? So Krishna says, you don't know in your previous lifetime things. He said, no, I know. He said, go back your birth. He said, I can see as far as 3 births and I don't see anything that I have done because of which I am suffering this fate. He said, go even further back. You know only 3 births, I know all. So there are a lot of variables at play and that the way God's algorithm works is everything fits in place. Basically, there are only 3 relationships, right, possible in this world, and same goes true with God as well. One is Nyaya, justice-based. Second is called Whimsical, where it's random. With somebody, something will happen. With somebody else, something will happen. And third is called mercy-based, Kripa-based. Same thing with God. So when we start building connect with God, and start working on ourselves, God says, now we are moving towards mercy and the grace based. But when we don't do that, when we think ourselves as an enjoyer and we are going to do, then God meets us as a justice based, Nyaya. in form of law of karma, basically. And that law of karma dictates pretty much everything, whether that becomes our collective destiny, clan prarabdha, or maybe bad timing. We really can't make sense of it. So these things will continue, and that is where our scriptures tell us that these the taps that we spoke about, every jeev is us, before God realization is subjected to these afflictions. After God realization, even though the jeev lives on this earth, they are called jivan mukt at that point. These sufferings, they cannot affect the jivatma at that point, because when you become Vide, now you are coming here for some kind of an express purpose to serve God. But for as long as we are here in material world in conditioned state, we have to deal with it. And our scriptures also tell this world as dukhalaya, shashwat and dukhalaya. We think there's a lot of fun. It is not actually, it is jailhouse for the conditioned souls. And Maya is the jailer. And its job is to trouble us, to tell us this is not the right place for you. But we are still happy in getting that small droplets of honey that we enjoy. And that keeps us motivated enough to keep repeating in this world, lifetime after lifetime. And furthermore, divine abode, Maya cannot enter. So once you are past this, we had looked at that big chart. Beyond my material world, there is a Birja river, and then Parvyom Lok, and that's where all the boats are there. Once we transcend to that side, that's when Maya or these doshas cannot enter. They are not subject to these rules at all. So that is why when we see things around, they are actually dictated by some kind of a law. It's not a random occurrence at all. Some kind of a law, and we have to trust God on that part. That algorithm, it may not make sense to us, but there's a big picture at work there. It may not make immediate sense for us, but it could be a blessing in disguise as well. We don't know what kind of algorithm is in play, right? If you look at Ganga doing it to their son, it might look like cruel, but actually it was a mercy. So we don't know what happens around that time. We simply have to accept one part of it is obviously dictated by our collective destiny. Individual destiny can trump that. The other aspect of it is dictated by a lot of other factors, which are very much within the control of God and dictated by a perfect justice-based system. Hard to digest that, but that's the only way you can make sense and make peace with it. Otherwise, there'll be loose ends, and it's like very hard to digest some of the things that you see around us. And if it starts troubling you so much, even better. Now seek the root cause and the permanent solution to it, like it happened with Buddha. It troubled him so much, he didn't have to see a genocide. All he had to see was an ailing old man and somebody suffering from health problems or somebody poor. That's it. That we anyway we see every day, every around us. That itself was so disconcerting for him. He didn't have to watch a movie to feel that way. That itself was so disconcerting for him that he said, I want to get to the root of it and get beyond these things. So if we get chinta, let's convert it into chintan, so that it actually helps us pass the very get to the root of the problem and eradicate it once and for all. All right, we can take few questions, and then we have Nitin G with the presentation. Let's take a few questions. I'm sure there'll be some questions that will come up. So let's have a quick discussion for 10 minutes, and then I'll hand it over to him for a quick discussion as well. So,
okay, Radhe Radhe everybody. Sab ji, Radhe Radhe. Please put camera on. Sab ji,
Radhe
can you
Radhe.
hear?
Radhe,
Yeah.
Radhe.
Nitinji, just a clarification, like only for God realization means Brahma Gnan, right? After one attains Brahma Gnan, there won't be effect of Maya. But what about the case of Atma Gnan, self-realization? Does Maya still affect them?
So let's understand this whole concept. Atma Gyan is not God realization. Self-realization is not equal to God realization, first of all. Self-realization is like understanding a drop of the ocean. And when you taste the drop of an ocean, yes, you don't need to taste the ocean. Fair point. But then when you know the drop of an ocean, you don't know the length, breadth, and the expanse of the ocean. And at the same time, within the drop of the ocean, you cannot row a boat, right? So there is a difference at the same time. But having said that, when you have surrendered to God, when you are beyond Maya, right? Even in case of self-realization, you need to do that because you have to conquer Maya. When you conquer Maya, and with God's grace it is conquered, then you are beyond these tritaps, tridosh, panchadosh, panchaklesh, all that stuff is gone. Your ignorance is also gone. So you are a dundee at that point. Then those rules do not apply to you at all.
Okay.
Hope I answered your question.
Yes.
But
And
you need to be past Maya in that case. You cannot be in a Mayak world, and I have explained this concept that if one is a Jnani in a Gyan Marg, you can conquer Maya to a certain extent until Avidya Maya. In order to conquer Vidya Maya, you have to surrender to God. Once you surrender to God and He bestows His grace, that's when you are, even for your self-realization to fructify, you have to surrender to God. And when you do that, that's when you are past all these kleshas that we are subjected to as a conditioned soul.
Sandhya ji, Radhe Radhe. Sandhya ji, can you hear me?
Yeah, Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe.
So my question is regarding Bhautik Tap. So I understand that we need to have faith and trust in God, and there is a justice system in place. But God has also given us free will. And if we know that someone has done something wrong, like as was evident in this slide, or say for Nirbhaya's case, or there are many cases when you clearly know that someone has done something wrong to another individual, then as part of exercising our free will, we also need to seek the materialistic justice system and give whatever do whatever necessary needs to be done for the person or the doer, right? The one who has done the bhautik tap. So that's what I do.
True, very true. And that is why we have justice system. That is our attempt to bring justice even in this world. Right? Even when the jury sits, they try to establish the motive or the intent behind that particular act. Was the intent to kill somebody, or was it purely an accident? So paropkar is strongly recommended in all of our scriptures. If somebody is, let's say, drowning down, and one person says that, hey, he's drowning down, it's his karma, let him down, right? The other person's, so that is another one way of looking. And other person actually goes and helps that person. He says, no, let me at least try, even though. So you paropkar you have to do anyways, and you have to get a sense of basically establish justice as best as possible as humans, right? Especially if you're in a position of authority. Not like beating up goons in like they show in Hindi movies, but yes, if we have a formal system, sure, that is how law and order is maintained. Very true. And that is where even in material world we try to bring a sense of justice in our lives as well. Great point. Yes, maybe we can take a couple.
Anusha ji, Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe, Nitinji, Shyamji, and everybody else. So, Nitinji, I had a question. Now, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa was a saint, but then he actually died of throat cancer.
Right.
So, was that a suffering?
So I'll tell you, these saints, when they descend, they are not obliged to take on prarabdha. They are like God only. But then they don't intervene in prarabdha. They say, what is this? Anyway, we don't feel the pain. So why should we break God's rule? So as a devotion, they simply obey it. So for him, it doesn't matter whether he has cancer or Sri Maharaj Ji, once his appendix burst, he was in an operation. So he was given a, what do you call this, tranquilizer, which will knock off anybody. He was awake. And doctors were freaked out. They were performing operation and his eyes are open. So doctor said, oh, what happened? Maybe another dose. And he said, okay, how long it will take? So 4 hours. Okay, I'll close my eyes. So these people, they are actually putting on an act. They are not obliged to go through the prarabdha. But then as their devotion, as part of their, perfect devotion towards God and perfect surrender towards God, they don't take that privilege. That it's a big deal. We'll take on prarabdha as well. Bring it on. We'll not break God's law because prarabdha everybody has to bear. Even God, when he comes with the prarabdha. So why would they break that just because they have that ability? So they take upon those things. For our material minds, it may seem like, hey, he's a saint and he died of cancer, but Nothing. It doesn't matter to them actually. Hope it answers your question, Ranusha ji.
Yes, Nitinji. Thank you.
No worries. Okay, maybe two more.
Pallavi ji. Radhe Radhe.
Ji, Radhe Radhe.
Pallavi ji.
Yeah, Radhe Radhe.
Radhe
Can
Radhe.
you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, Radhe Radhe, Nitinji. Radhe Radhe, everyone. Very, very beautiful session, Nitinji, as always. I quickly wanted to say my 2 cents. I remember when I was presenting amongst the fellow devotees in this forum, I did mention about the checkmate that comes in everyone's life based on everyone's threshold. So it always, there will be a checkmate which will come for in our life for everyone at, we don't know at which point of time. And that is the time when we start looking, we are compelled to look for, like, what are the options? You tried everything, now what? So we are compelled to find shelter and shelter of God. As you always mention in the class also, like, yen kain prakare, however, we have to come and find the shelter in the God's grace, in the God abode, shelter, and we have to become devotee of God, because there is no other way. We, in this material world, we have to always, we will be subjected amongst these 3 taps at any point of time, and we all have our own threshold. We'll have to keep bearing it. That's
True.
it I wanted to say.
Beautiful point, Pallavi ji. And if it troubles you, take your pain and trouble to the next level. Don't stop there only. Right? And that is the value of troubling and worrying about something. Take it to a different level altogether. Now I need to get to the root of it and get out of it. Don't just stop. Okay, we don't have to be mediocre here. Oh, there is trouble, so maybe there is God. No, who knows? And that's it. Don't stop. Take it to the next level if it truly troubles you. I said Buddha, it troubled him, but look at what he did through that trouble.
What he did, yeah.
Right. So we have to think it that way. Beautiful point. Thank you, Pallavi ji. I can see one more hand. Let's
Nitin ji,
see.
you have so much knowledge. How do you get it from? Where do you get it so that we also have some source inspiration? And besides your time, I do not know, how do you manage all those things? Just a thought.
Yeah, so for that you will have to come and celebrate with us on Holi, and the knowledge will start coming in automatically. I don't know. It's
I'm ready for it. I told you I'm there for the family camp. I'm all for it. And just to remind everybody, please put the cameras on. Nitin Bhai is saying if the cameras are on till next June, he will sponsor your trip to Dallas for family camp. So request, please cameras on. Radhe Radhe.
it's camera on. And retreat as well. Okay.
Retreat as well. Yeah.
All
Jyoti
right.
ji, Radhe Radhe.
Let's quickly here. I know we have a very nice. I'm looking forward to that. Nitin calling Nitin will happen today. So I'm looking forward to that presentation. We can really take 2 quick questions, real quick ones.
Hello, Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe Jyoti. Good to see you.
Thank you. So,
Hey, by the way, in Adi Bhautik, I put Scorpion as well. Okay, I hope you took notice of that.
yeah, I did. And you said it twice.
All right.
I've counted that too.
All right.
Thank you for this session. So I have a very naive question. Sometimes it's really become difficult to surrender. And I would like to know if when you are at the primitive stage and you would like to start, how one person should start surrendering. And there is another question which is related to Pallavi ji's question, that if you are taking your pain to and trying to understand and trying to take it to the next level, how one should start doing that.
Okay, it's definitely 1 to 2 minute thing. Okay, so surrender part
Sorry.
is. No worries. I think we can discuss more, but for the sake of time, I'll give a quick thing and then we can discuss maybe more. So
Yeah, sure.
one part of it is obviously having a prasad buddhi. So the easiest practice is when we go to temple, right? Whatever prasad is given to us, we take it, right? We don't say, "Hey, I need chocolates." I mean, kids do that. I'll take gems only, or I'll take this only, or this has less sugar in it. We simply accept what is given to us. Similarly, life, we need to have that attitude, have a prasad buddhi, it is called. Whatever is happening is for a reason, despite your best effort. So that's the first way to start surrender, prasad buddhi. Rather than complaining in your head, hey, why this happened or why me? That's when you are violating that principle. That's the easiest way to do it.
Hmm.
Second, what was the second question?
My second question was, as Pallavi ji was saying, and you suggested that it's really good thing to take your pain to a next level and try, instead of considering as chinta, you should start thinking about it. So I would
Knowledge.
like to know.
Arm yourself with right knowledge and keep revising that knowledge. So attending Bhagavad Gita session is one of that thing where you have to keep on revising your knowledge and asking their questions and become a seeker. Then God will start giving you answers, and you will be pleasantly surprised to see the universe will start giving you answers. What you are really seeking, you'll start getting answers, and a lot of your questions will start getting resolved from within as well. You'll get an answer to it.
Okay.
Okay, that will be conviction, not a theoretical one. You will conviction. You'll say, okay, now it makes sense. Okay, so let's give it to Nitin and then we'll come back because I'm sure we'll have some time. I want to give him a fair time today. And I know two more hands are raised, and Samji and Pagmaji then will take that question. So let's quickly give him, and then we will come back to the question and continue with our discussion. Okay. Over to you, Nitinji. It sounds a little awkward me saying that, but you have to unmute yourself. You're on mute.
Visible? Am I audible and visible?
Yes, you are. I'm going to stop share and give you all the spotlight.
First of all, thank you for an opportunity. I'll describe about myself, where I'm from, how I've come here. My name is Nitin in this Bhautik world as of now, Nitin Kaskar. I live in Mumbai city. I did my law and I study and I teach and I practice law also before court of law.
Law, okay, nice.
Yeah. My one friend, she lives in USA, Gayatri Limaye, Gayatri Divekar. So she had recommended me last year to be a part of JKU. First of all, when I was a student of statistics, when I was studying my graduation, then later on when I completed my law course, I was never ever keen that I want to, know about spirituality or what it is. Never ever have thought. I'll go in a way that how I've come, what I've learned, and what are the changes have happened to me, and what all the miracle that have happened in my life. So I'll take 5 minutes. I'll go in that sequence. Please bear with me.
Sure.
There were certain problems in the life, not in my life, in family's life. Then I started, and I thank Corona. First of all, I thanks this platform Zoom. I thank you, Nitin sir. And first of all, I take permissions of all the gurus, all the teachers, and that is their knowledge which I'm imparting. These are their words. I'm only putting it. Okay, nothing is my own. This is only I've taken from them, and it will come through them. So kindly help them, God. Please help me, God, in this case. So there were problems, and Corona was there. We all were at home, and then I started doing this online webinar. And then I started realizing I never ever in my entire life read Bhagavad Gita. I was not knowing what is Bhagavad Gita is about, though I've taken a Sanskrit from class 8 to class 10th. It was only for scoring marks, for nothing else, and never ever interested to know what Bhagavad Gita, what is Gita, what is Bhagavad Gita. Now I know how essential part it is of life. Then I've come here, I got someone in my life, and then I've come to JK. First of all, I'll say something about JK, what I've observed. First of all, I'm so thankful that to the Zoom and the Corona, because of which I think I am and we all are sitting, even we are at different parts of the world. And of course, Nitin sir, because he's giving such time. There are so many people who say, so I'll do this, I'll do that. But doing something without having any asakti and doing with Niswarth Buddhi, that is what I always learn from Nitin sir, which I don't think so. I'm still doing it. I say that I'll do it. Oh, I'll do this, I'll do that. But when I just first look for myself, and then okay, once my work is done, then I'll go and I'll do for other work. Likewise. So this is the good thing for all of us. And I'm really very thankful that every day, whenever he's conducting a session, he's always giving us some knowledge, and that is behind, in mind, in the brain, wherever it is, in sanskar, it is there. Now I'll say that how my life has transformed, or it is transforming, or it is yet to transform. I'll not say it is transformed as such, but it happens on daily basis. But now whatever I do, there's always a thought behind it. Okay, what I'm doing, what will be the consequences of these things, what I'll be doing. JK Yoga, I mean, about JK Yoga, I'll only say one thing: the how beautifully it is conducted, that everybody is at equal part. Nobody is discriminated. We raise hand, our questions are answered. At the same time, sometimes I ask question, okay, I have to use this platform so carefully and sparingly, because if I use 1 minute extra, maybe that 1 minute will be utilized by somebody. But if it is in prarabdha of the person, that he'll surely come before the camera or mic and he will surely speak. But that I always think. From Nitin sir, I always learn from him that he observes so much. He always listens to everybody so carefully. I don't know, that divine energy flows through him and always he answers. How does he manage and all those things? Some things are hidden in you and you're like, oh, acha, this is what it is. Okay, I was also thinking in the same way. Acha, how does this come? I don't know. But whatever he presents, whatever he speaks, it's a so easy language for a common man like me. Because I have not done any class of PhD in all this, and I really don't know the language of Vedanta or scriptures. I only did a material. I have a material knowledge that how to earn money. That was the main motive. But I was not knowing how to live life and leave life like Jivan Mukta. That I was not knowing. So that I've really learned from this JK Yoga. Other thing that I always, that the one thing which I more like is that Nitin sir always gives an opportunity to everybody that you recite a shlok. So that always gives us pleasure. Okay, I got an opportunity and I can speak and I can recite the shlok, and at least because of that some positivity comes. I am talking about myself, even though I'm talking behind the camera or behind the speaker, but I recite along with sir so that I get it. Now let me tell you one small experience how Guru Krupa works for you. Okay, just a small example. Yesterday which had happened, I work for a firm. I do take my individual matter. My timing is only up to 5 o'clock because afterwards I have a classes to attend and I have my something else also. So generally court times are over by 5 o'clock. It's 10:30 to 4:30 in Bombay High Court. Otherwise it was 11 to 5. The regular courts, city and sessions, they ends by 5 o'clock. So my leaving time is 5:30. After court hours, I come back to the office. Whatever it is, I complete because I have class at 6:30 again. Another class, physical class. So I have what is happened. There were some matters, and he had asked me that Nitin, judge wants, because I have attended that and I was there, and he told me events and dates he needed, and you kindly make it. But he was busy with somebody was talking, but I couldn't say that it is 5:30 and I have a class and I have to leave. So what I did, I went. We have a WhatsApp group. I put it into the office and I told madam that, madam, can you please make this? There is one letter that you have to inform the other party that tomorrow the matter is parted. It will be heard tomorrow. At the same time, judges wants to know how the dates and events. Then he got annoyed or angry. He told me, Nitin, I asked you to make it. I said, sorry, sir, but I have a classes. I can. So he said, okay, no problem. You do it tomorrow. But he got angry. But how the prarabdha works, that is what I wanted to say, and how the Guru Krupa works. It was happened. There is we have in Mumbai, there are two divisions. That one is at Borivali and Dindoshi Court, that is City Civil, and another one is City Civil at Fort, Churchgate. What is happened, he asked me that, Nitin, that yesterday I had to go to Borivali because the matter was important there. He said, Nitin, you attend. As I did not make date and events, day prior, so he asked me, you don't go there. I'll ask Divya to go. You come and attend because this PRS matter is very, very important and you have to lead this. I said, okay. I had come in the morning. I know he was upset. I was knowing he was upset. I made it and we got the good order. And judge could realize that how the opposite party, whatever it was in prarabdha, I am just the doer. I am not doing. The Prakriti makes us do it. We feel that we do it. If it is so, if I do the good thing, then I do the bad things also. If bad things happen to me, I said, oh, I didn't do it. It is done by the destiny. Then if I do it, Some force, some divine energy is making it. So I did not do. That was in the prarabdha of that particular client, so he got it. But what has happened in that way? The Dindoshi court, that girl had gone, and the court had imposed their cost because we could not produce the witness. And that is what the prarabdha, even though till yesterday it was there, okay, I have to attend that matter, but I don't know in this firm, as of now, he likes my work. It is not done by me, it is done by the divine power. I am just the doer. And in my entire life, I will not say so, till date, there was not any matter that I couldn't get a success. So never ever I got any bad order or something. That is a Guru Krupa, and I am not doing it. Some force is doing that. So Guruji or Guru wanted that, or that divine energy wanted, Nitin, you don't go to Borivali Dindoshi division. You please come and you please attend this particular matter. And where the Divya had gone, there she has got a cost, and I did not get a cost. And this immediately I told her, Sachin is a clerk of our office. I said, look, the Guru Krupa upon me, that Guru wanted, or this divine energy wanted, I should be in Bombay City Civil at Fort. Guru does not want that I should go there. If I would have gone there, there are some, some people are talking back behind, all that. Achha, now I just want to tell a reason that why I did not do the dates and events work. I could have done it. I am not saying I would not have done it. I would have spared. Sometimes I feel that somebody who is doing it is misused. That we can do it because I've seen people all around that if they work, they are so sweet to you. But at the same time, we have to use a wisdom. At the same time, we should have a good heart also. So I should know whether somebody is taking undue advantage of my good things. Then at the same time, I see to it that no, whatever it is, I should not make it that he's taking advantage. There are other advocates in our firm. They are doing their personal work. I mean, even if they are in office, they're doing their personal work in the office and they're not even paying attention just because I complete the work. So all work comes upon me. So that I decided I would have done it. But what happens, the other people are excusing and escaping. That I do not want. Their duty they should perform. I'll do my dharma. Let them do their dharma. And if I'm doing it, then I become unhappy and I keep on saying, I cribble. Oh, I couldn't go. I had my students' responsibility. I have to go home. I have to teach them. I couldn't do that. Now, one more important aspect of my life, which is very, very relevant, and I really wanted to tell you how this happens. And this is a real thing, which I think on online platform I'll be sharing of my family life, but I'll not name somebody. A very, very close relationship I had in my family, and she had to get separate. There were certain issues in her life, and she had to get separate. So how the Guru Krupa and everything works, this is a story of 2021 only. And it was a mutually, they have to separate. And only that he has to attend, because for a mutual divorce, it's just a 6 months time. You come, you make an application. At the end, 6 months, you have to sign, it is done. So there is no recording of evidence or something. Only affidavit is to be submitted. Then final order is passed. 6 months have been given, but the person who works abroad, so he works for merchant navy. So he keeps coming after 2 months. So dates were there. He had appeared, but the judge was absent. And when the judge is absent, there is always another assigned court, in charge court. But they generally don't pass a decree because still that particular in charge court is there. The thing was like that this particular girl wanted to marry. Okay, I just wanted to say how the prarabdha works for one particular person. So the date was of 28th. First, the marriage date was fixed of 5th January. But then she said that, oh, these are the times for which I won't be comfortable because it will be her cycle, monthly cycle. So she said that I cannot perform the marital rites on 5th. So let us keep it on 9th. That is what was decided. My friend was there and I said that, look, I will not allow this marriage. He said, nothing happens. You let marriage happen. I said, no, I will not allow because it will be bigamy. It's an offense. I said, I won't ask her to do this. I mean, I will not allow her to do all this. I said, whatever it is, we'll see. My close friend said, Nitin, nothing doing. What you do is, even if it doesn't happen, the divorce on 28th and the marriage is fixed on 5th, will go by 5th. But just because she said, no, I don't want 5th, then marriage was postponed to this particular date, was 9th of January. And that, oh, okay, I'm sorry, I gave a wrong facts. That particular person did not appear on 28th. That particular husband did not appear on a 28th of December. Then the matter got postponed on 6th. 1 second. The matter got postponed on 6th, and they have got separated, and immediately on 9th she got remarried. And I was so thankful to the God and said that this was in the destiny of the person. Today it is my destiny also that I'm sitting here and I'm talking, and I am not. This is actually made by those particular divine energies. That is what I'm only saying, that whenever we are honest to anything, whatever we do, whatever we do in a what way, and with the nirasakta bhav, and I don't have attachment, really the things are so attractive. And what example I give, it's of my own life, my own, okay, my own. Somebody is very close to my heart, my, because the first and foremost things that you love somebody is your family. And I've really seen that how my life has changed. And I cannot tell you only one thing, I'm not exaggerating. The amount of money that is getting flown in my account, I cannot tell you how it happens. I don't know. I wonder, and I tell my mother, I was a person, it was very difficult in the year 2016 to get the matters also. I hardly used to get a bail matters because initially I started with the criminal practice, then I moved on to civil practice. But now it is like that people are behind, but it is in their prarabdha and I am not doing. I don't know. Whenever you do the good things, it all happens, and nothing comes free in this world. I really cherish and thankful to Nitin sir. Whatever he gives, it is not free, and I really have to take with dhanyavad bhav, because it is all his, and I am taking it. And I have not done any punya karma or nothing else. I'm getting everything free of cost. Just sitting here, observing him, and getting free of cost. And yes, I'm very, very thankful to the Nitin sir. Really, I'm telling you from bottom of my heart, because really nothing comes free in this world. Nobody. And whenever I get something, it is my duty and my job to give back to the society, to give back to the people who really needed it. And whenever whatever we give, I should not have that bhav. Yes, I have sometimes I get the bhav, oh, I did it. But then I feel that, okay, I did this, then I did, let us assume, but I don't drive as such, because still though I've learned it, if when while driving a car something happens, then I must take a blame. I said, oh, it is not my mistake, it is the mistake of corporation, they have not made the proper roads, it is a mistake of that particular this thing. That time I don't take the blame of the bad things. If I say so, if I do the good things, then I have to take the blame of the bad things upon me also. Again, I say that it is always a Prakruti who is making me do, and I am just the tool, this Sattva-raja Tamagun. And I really don't know whatever is happening around me, but only I say that whenever I come here, it is always blissful, peaceful. I always get happiness, and my day is always nice. Whenever I get the time, I'm very honest to you. Whenever I get the time, I come to see that I attend this session. Whenever I get the time, I'm very honest that I am not very much regular, and I really feel bad about it. I really am telling you, but there are some other karmic bonds which I have to complete, or some other dharma or karmic duties which are there, but the thoughts are always there. And in my entire life, yes, Nitin sir and all of you, I am very, very much thankful to you. Because of you, some thoughts you always give, okay, and that is always there. Okay, this is my as we were just discussing that Draupadi had this, or Bhishma Pitama, he has to survive. So some prarabdha. So now whatever happens, earlier is to blame. Kire, why this has happened to me? Why that has happened to me? Now I accept. No. This is something I have done something bad, and this is my karma only. So I should happily accept it. Whatever happens to me. This is just because the session which I am attending. At the same time, honesty is only the policy that I've realized. Wherever you are honest to everything, I think things are very much blissful. And this is what is teaching of this particular class also. Or itna hi, I don't know that how I keep on going. But only I thank you. Only the one word, I don't know, I cannot express my hearts, but really the things which is happening on this platform, we all are at a different level, we all are operating at a different mind level, we are at a different conscious level of understanding the words, in understanding in our own senses, and putting our facts and our experiences to that. rather than sometimes I feel that whatever the guru is teaching, whenever Guru Vani is coming, we take it as it is, as a Shastra. I see that, and when we follow it, really the miracle happens. And we are not the doer. When we accept it, it is done by them. I think everything gets uh, simplified as I. Or again, very much thank you for an opportunity which is given to me. Thank you to the Zoom platform who have made it. Because of Zoom platform, I'm sitting here. Thank you to the Nitin sir. Thank you to all of you. You could hear me. My words may have gone here and there. I don't know what I spoke, and I don't remember because it has just come. I don't know how but that's how it is. And once again, thank you very much. Thank you very much. And I pray that these things happens. These things really reach to all the common man. And whatever happens in the Prakriti, COVID-19, everything, there is always the other side. Because of that, we all are sitting here. Something is happening for the good only. We all accept, and that is what is taught to us by this class also. And we apply whatever principles are taught. We apply in our life, and we really see the miracles. At the same time, one thing I want to tell you, I forget what I learned from Nitin sir also. Many a times what happens, somebody is saying, sometimes I don't pay attention. Okay, array, I have to do this, or I have heard this. That my ahankar, tells me, array, mujhe to aata hai. I always say that, array, Nitin ko to aata hai. That I say that, okay, I know this. Then I say that, no, it is my ahankar. That is telling me. And yes, I have all kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsar, ahankar, damba, everything. I have a damba also. My sister keeps telling me, Nitin, you have a damba. Damba, I do a dambachari. I have a damba also. I have all asurs in me, everything I have. But only one thing which I try to practice, that I try to be honest. I generally, if I don't like, I say so upfront that I did not like it. And I'm
2 minutes.
I'm
We are
sorry
getting,
I've taken so much of
no
time.
worries, we are
And
getting
thank
over
you very
time.
much
So
for the opportunity.
yeah, thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
I know we are
Dhanyavad.
over time, so I wanted to have give opportunity for. But yeah, beautiful. I know it was a very straight from heart articulation of how you feel, and I'm so glad you are able to map the concepts to your day-to-day life, and even the cases and the day-to-day happenings that are happening, which is pretty awesome, amazing. And thank you so much, Nitinji, for taking initiative, coming here, and actually inspiring all of us how some of the stuff that we discussed, you are able to map it, relate it, and actually reap benefit from it as well. So wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you again, Nitinji. Let's quickly take any announcement, Shamji.
The
That
only one thing I just want to say, that sir, this knowledge which you are bestowing, we are very much thankful, and really feel this knowledge reaches to the all corners of the world, so that all are very blissful, and they get what they want is called as permanent bliss. So my request is only to you, sir, whenever you conduct a session, try to conduct in Hindi language once in a month or something, so that all
Sure.
can be benefited and they get a permanent bliss. That's my request to you, sir. Thank you very much.
Sure, we'll
Thank
we'll
you.
we'll put in that word and find out time. Maybe on the weekend I can do it in Hindi. अगर हिंदी भाषा में बारीकी से समीक्षण किया जाए तो भक्ति की पराकाष्ठा प्रेम है. That's all my Hindi I know. Okay, so maybe over the weekend or something we can plan for that. But thank you for the suggestion. And again, thank you so much, Nitinji. Over to you, Shyamji, for the announcements you want to make. One question that came in chat was, when does God act whimsical? God doesn't act whimsical. God would have been whimsical if he would bestow his grace without any entitlement. Then he will become whimsical, and then God will not be God, because justice and perfection demands that you follow certain principles. Saints who have earned it have been given that divine love, and if it is distributed freely, no matter what we do, then God becomes whimsical, and which God is not. I think one question came up. I just wanted to clarify that. Over to you, Shamji, for the announcements. And then tomorrow we'll continue with our next shloka. Like any other shloka, it's a pretty interesting one. So we'll continue with our discussion. And if any follow-up questions you have, because we covered a lot of stuff today, please put it in the tracker and we can bring it up. And any other topic of discussion of interest that you want, let me know, and we can always pick it up during our Tuesdays, because this session gives us an opportunity to get into some of the concepts which might not be directly tackled as part of the shloka that we are discussing. But it's also important to have a holistic view around some of the things that trouble us, that could be potential roadblocks for us, our devotion and faith. it's important to tackle those through our scriptural lens and scriptural references. Over to you, Samji.
Yeah.
Oh, Sham.
Please feel free to put in your comment suggestions. If somebody wants to do a PPT, the package is already shared. And we also have a family camp coming up in the month of June. Please register for it. And Seema ji has said in the chat window, Shri Ramakrishna said, this body has throat cancer, but I am fine. He, the Atman, had this association from the body he was living in. Buddha was shunned from any calamities by his father, the king Shuddhodhan. So when he was exposed to even to the slightest of old age, disease or death, he was inundated with grief and set out to find the cause of dukkha. Simaji, thank you so much.
Okay,
and Samji, as you said, Whimsical, yeah. We have few hands raised. Samji was there. Can I take it?
Let's quickly take. I think Padmaji is there as well. So let's quickly.
Yeah. Padmaji, are you there? Padmaji, I can't. Yeah, Padmaji, Radhe Radhe.
I'll just make it very quick. It's really fast. About the surrender part. Surrender is, I don't know how surrender feels, but I can tell you what I feel, right? So there is, when troubles come your way, there are multiple different tools and mechanisms and confusions and everything come your way. But if you're really convicted to be in the spiritual path, you have to really ground yourself to identify the reason of why God is giving you that situation. And most all the time it is that he really wants you to polish you. So you have to go deep within yourself where God is sitting and then ask him, what is the piece that you want me to polish? So he wants you to polish whatever that piece is. And many times it is that you have to find the spiritual purpose in that situation. What is my spiritual purpose? How I can serve the humanity through this situation. And when you put yourself in that situation, he will give you an answer and you serve that purpose, and you will get these small upgrades to find yourself to get out of that situation, and then jump on to the next one. So I'll reserve, like, there was much more that I wanted to say, but maybe another day. Thank you.
Beautiful point. I know this is this discussion we will keep on building upon, because this will come in shlokas as well. Miseries we think are bad. Actually, they are huge opportunities for us. Right? That example Swamiji gives of a cocoon, it will remain a cocoon and not become a butterfly unless it is subjected to the struggle that it has to go through as part of its, expanding the wings. Similarly, the coal will remain a coal unless it has the endurance to sustain that pressure for a prolonged period of time, and then it becomes a diamond. And then even in Maharajji's bhajan, he says, "Ab aur adhik chamkega sona, puni puni agni tapane se." So the gold, it becomes even more, it glitters and shines more the more it is subjected to heat and those kind of things. And God is very cunning. It wants perfection out of you. It will keep raising the game for you. But the good thing about God is, it's not like putting a frog in hot water. Frog will say, "Oh my God, what happened?" It will increase the temperature gradually until you start, getting that. So that temperature is controlled very nicely by God. And then he wants us to become, capable, what we are truly capable of, nothing short of that. So when we understand that concept and focus on our inner growth in every opportunity, it is so liberating. Life becomes a joyous, pleasurable experience. The journey itself becomes so enjoyable that you don't even worry about the destination. When we'll realize God, it will happen whenever it has to happen. Let's make the journey enjoyable. So that is the beauty of the Bhakti Marg. We don't worry about the target. Let's make it enjoyable. Let's serve God with all our heart and all our might, and things will fall in place. So that is the whole thing. Wonderful discussion. I posted the question, so look forward to your writings and comments around that. We continue our discussion tomorrow. Stay blessed, stay safe, and let's do our closing prayers together.
We have Samji, if you can please allow
Samji, yes, Samji, please go ahead.
Yes, unmuted. Samji, Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe. Sorry, I withdrawn my hand because I thought time is running out and everybody is getting lead for that purpose. And Nitinji, thank you very much. You have been so, I don't know where do you find so much time to do all this research and everything. It is a thankful situation. Thank you. I have a little question that last Wednesday I was in flight, so I missed the whole thing. And today I joined late when you were talking about the karmas and doshas. I think that the flip-flop that when I try to bring to Ajayji's also, and then he talked to Swamiji also, and they said the book is already published. I think it's a flip-flop situation. Karmas are your old karmas, and doshas are the current diet, and all those things are there. So the book is a misprint. I think somebody need to, just for the purpose of correction.
Okay.
I think I brought to your attention also one time back, but just for the purpose of FY.
Okay, might have been a typo for sure. So I'll check it out, and I'll check with Ajay as well. So we'll get that corrected. Let me check it out. Which book are you talking about, by the way, Sandy?
I think this SVMM, whatever I think Ajay was talking, but I gave him all the references also, and he checked the Swamiji also.
Okay.
Karmas are the old karmas. Doshas are the current whatever stupid thing we keep.
Might have been typos.
Yeah. Okay. So
So
that everybody is on the same page for the purpose of correction for all of us, just for the heck of it. Thank you.
No worries. Thank you, Samji, so much. All right, we can do our closing prayers, and we'll continue our discussion again tomorrow. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve
Santu Niramya
Sarve
Bhadrani Pashyantu
Ma Kaschit
Dukkha Bhave
Om Shanti
Shanti.
The last Shanti was the loudest one, so
Radhe Radhe Namaste. Thank you, Nitinji. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sundarji. Radhe Radhe. Hope you all have filled up the feedback tracker.
I only wanted to mention that Prakriti, that is the God, he has managed it so well that what we need, which vegetable we need at what season, it is all managed by him.
Yes, yes.
Good for us. You should not use the hema. You should see when the peas come, eat it. That's God's wish. Thank you.
That is why they say go for seasonal fruits. In US, everything is available throughout the year.
Yes, that is the problem. That is the problem.
Which is not a good thing for sure.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nitin. Thank you, Nitin, for answering the question that I posted. It was beautiful and beautifully understood. Yeah.
Hopefully,
thank you so much.
Shruti, it brought in some clarity. I know it can be very disconcerting and disturbing.
At times, yeah. At that time, it was really troubling. But I'm glad that we took some time in between, to settle down the emotions and understand the concept better. Thank you so much.
Yeah, let's try to get out of this world if it troubles us, okay? But these things are like, and it is controlled, okay, by a bigger algorithm that we may not be privy of. And secondly, I think we have to bear in mind when the bullet pierces somebody's heart, we don't know what kind of resilience God provides at that time. We can only think it is as a pain. In fact, it is God's mercy even to put a thermostat in our heart. Beyond a point, we can't even tolerate pain, which is a good thing. In fact, it is says when we die, again, I have to bring in scorpions, 1,000 scorpions sting you, that much pain happens. So nobody dies consciously. You first become unconscious and then you die. It has happened to us a lot of times. We've forgotten, which is a good thing. But this is how it goes. So when people say, hey, you know what, this guy just died in sleep, nothing happened. No, it is actually a painful process. But the good thing about pain is God has not given us something which you continue enduring and enduring. It just cuts it off. You become unconscious and then things happen. Okay, I'll see you tomorrow. Radhe Radhe. Good night. Stay blessed. Have a good rest of the day.
Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe. Bye.